Humans have muddied the waters so much by standing where they stand, often in a place that they don't really want to be, and then try to explain how they got there, or compare where they stand to where other people are standing. And all that does is just practice vibrations that hold them there longer. And then every now and again, the new ones are coming forth. Babies are being born.
I'll get out of the way.
And they're leaving. Some are leaving. They're coming in. And many are in gatherings like this where they are feeling more of their own empowerment. It's such an exhilarating thing when you find an idea that you haven't trampled to death with disbelief, and you focus upon it softly, and law of attraction responds to your pure vibration, and you make the conscious association. Esther started saying in the early days of her discovery of those things, I did that. And then when something unwanted would come, she would say, I did that too. As she began to take credit, responsibility for whatever was coming. Because only in her realization that she was offering a vibration over which she did have control, and that vibration was what was bringing back to her what was coming back, that she began to understand that she is the creator of her own reality. And many of you are discovering it too. And you're better at it on some subjects than others, but you ought to be good on all subjects, because there is nothing that is outside of these principles.
I mean, if I understand the law of attraction, is that basically we're in a car and we're driving, and whether we have our eyes open and we can consciously choose where to go, or whether we have our eyes closed, is up to us. But that car is moving, and the law of attraction brings to us.
That's a really good analogy.
It's just going.
It's a good analogy. And imagine looking out ahead of where you want to be, as compared, what if you have a windshield in the floorboard and you're looking at where you are? And that's what happens to most people. They're looking right where they are, which is not very satisfying. If you're looking out ahead, there's less resistance in your ahead vibration.
It assumes that you are aware or accept that you have eyes, and that you can make that choice, that you can direct the car to where it's going to go. And that's the fundamental.
You're right. That's what we first try to convince you of, that you are the creator of your own reality, and that you can feel yourself into alignment with who you really are and what you really want.
And I've been practicing and trying to feel that, and
we've been talking concept here, and theory here, and general here.
Right.
Let's talk specific. Get on a subject that matters to you, and let us guide you into a vibration that will yield you the results you want.
I wake up either from a nap or from a seemingly good night's sleep, and my disc is preset, and it's down here.
All right.
I wake up and it's automatically.
All right. And so the function of presetting it is happening right now. You're pre-paving that. You're saying, when I wake up in the morning, it's already preset, so I don't have a chance.
Right.
So first of all, stop saying that. And we will just say to you, that's not true. Preset is not an incorrect word. It is preset, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. And the reason it's preset is because you're presetting it. We've been calling that pre-paving. And you could start saying something different. You could say, I could get out of the bed on a different foot. I could get out on the other side of the bed. Those are phrases that humans have used. I could more deliberately choose my disc when I first awaken. So when you put yourself in your bed at night, say, tomorrow I'm going to make an effort to choose a better feeling disc. So if you've got a lot of momentum going, it's harder to do. We acknowledge that, but you still could do it. So let's assume that you have chosen a higher flying disc on a subject that really matters to you, but the issue is still bubbling within you. So the odds are you're not going to get very far into the day, maybe only a minute or two or three or four before you slip from it. But at least that first little bit has established some momentum that will make it easier tomorrow to keep that momentum going longer. So it might be 3 minutes on the first day and 5 minutes on the second day. You might make it till breakfast on the third day. But if you continue to apply your knowledge of the disc, or your belief, or your hope that what Abraham is saying is accurate, then you'll begin to notice different outcomes in your day.
So you're saying just sort of act as sort of if this were true. Act as if you can't find the belief and you go, all right, I'm going to try this and see if this works. You can start to function on that level.
Well, you see, there are a lot of people that teach act as though it is and it will be. But your actions aren't what's calling the shots. Your actions aren't what law of attraction is responding to. Law of attraction is responding to your vibration. So if you can act until you feel it, then you've made some headway. But what we are saying, get out ahead of it. Try to find the feeling that inspires the action, not the action that inspires the feeling, because the action has a momentum of its own going.
Right.
And that's why that stuff doesn't work. All it does is make you defensive and try to justify that you've been doing it, but that it isn't working. And so we want you to try to find a feeling and then foster the feeling. Law of attraction will take that feeling and run with it for a little bit unless you squelch it with a contradictory thought. If you say, I want it, and you don't add the but won't come. You're the one that adds the but. I want it, but. We find it interesting that people will say, I would like more money, but I haven't had any for a while. I would like more money, but the economy is very difficult right now. I would like a better whatever, but you don't usually do that the other way. Well, I haven't been making much money lately, but things could turn around. You hardly ever do that. Haven't been feeling good, but I'm probably all right. Usually your buts work against you because it's your determination to state the facts of reality. And we don't dispute. There are a lot of facts of your reality that are factual as you speak them. We're just saying continuing to speak them and notice them continues to perpetuate the fact of them. Beliefs are really an interesting thing because a belief is just a thought I keep thinking. And the likelihood of continuing to think the thought that you've been thinking is a very great likelihood. So you got to sneak in from another way around it and find another way of looking at it. And what we've been teaching for a while is the more general you are in your statement, the less resistant you are in your statement. The more specific you are in your statement, the more resistant you are. So when we speak to you in very general terms, it's general. It's general when we say the law of attraction is the basis of this universe. That's general. Now you can dispute it or not, but it's general. And most people really don't rev up too hard against that because they don't know what we're talking about anyway.
Right.
And then when we say you're the creator of your own reality, while most people in the initial stages don't believe that, they want to believe that because everyone wants self-empowerment. Everyone wants self-determination. Everyone wants control of their own experience. So even though they don't believe it, there's a little hook in there where they will begin to listen. You are the creator of your own reality. Then their first defiance of that is, well, I don't believe that I'm the creator of my own reality because this and this and this has happened to me and I wouldn't have created these things if I were really the creator of my own reality. And then we say, we didn't say you're creating what you want. We're saying that you are the creator of your own reality. We're saying that you create what you think about, that you're getting what you think about. And that's usually the first place where people start engaging with us. Oh, I'm getting what I'm thinking about. A woman said to us one day, she was very angry with us. She said, Abraham, I believe this stuff, or did, and I've been working on it for a while. And the other day I was driving in San Francisco out on the freeway, and I was pulled over and given a very expensive ticket. And she said, and I was in a good place when it happened. In fact, she said, I was listening to one of your recordings. So how could this thing that I didn't want to happen, and we said, what was the ticket for? For not wearing a seatbelt. We said, well, how do you feel about that? Well, I don't think I should ever have to wear a seatbelt. I don't think anybody should tell me what I'm supposed to do or what I'm not supposed to do. Do you usually wear your seatbelt? No, I don't wear my seatbelt. And how do you feel when you don't wear it? I feel vindicated. I feel defiant. I'm not going to wear my seatbelt. Sometimes I pretend like I'm wearing it, but I don't really wear it. So he said, so think about law of attraction as we have explained it to be. Law of attraction is bringing like vibrations together. So here's a police officer, in fact, many of them, out on that very road trolling for revenue, looking for an excuse to extract revenue from you for some infraction of some law that you are undoubtedly going to. In other words, they know for sure that you're out there trying to be free. And that they can catch enough of you to put a lot of money in the bank. And so that's their objective. They're out there feeling the vibe of you. And you're out there shooting rockets out of the roof of your car. I'm free. I'm free. I shouldn't have to buckle up. In other words, it's a perfect vibrational marriage, you see. Nothing less than that would even make any sense at all. Of course they're going to find you. But what bothered her about it was she believed that she was feeling different than she was feeling. And we say, that's because that vibration is right where you last left it. In other words, freedom is only going to come to you when you understand that you get to freely choose the disc and that law of attraction will freely give you things that match the disc. We will never say to you that you can get on a disc that feels like negative emotion and that good things will come to you. That defies law of attraction. You got to pick the disc and you got to practice it until you own it. You got to practice it until it's what comes first in your vibrational offering. And when you do, things that match that will be the makeup of what comes to you. And people who are watching you, especially if they've known you before, will wonder what's happening to you. Are you drinking the Kool-Aid? They will want to know. You see?
So there is part of that is just, you just have to keep selecting the discs. You've just got to keep practicing it.
If we were standing in your physical shoes, that would be the way that we would apply this. That would be the way, because everything else is a harder goal. We have offered processes like focus wheels, where we've helped people who have had a real bugaboo about something. We've stayed with them long enough that we've helped them shift some energy. It's really hard on the group. It takes a long time to get somebody to shift from something that they really believe, because law of attraction's been proving to them that what they believe is accurate for a very long time. Yeah. Most people don't believe in their worthiness because they haven't been getting what they want. And so they've assigned some outside figure as the one who arbitrarily is making those decisions. Most people have a hard time believing that they are the creator of their own reality until they actually get hold of it and start doing it. And we know that feels irritating to you. Esther has even said, well, give it to me and then I'll believe it. Give me what I want and then I will happily acknowledge it. And we say, well, that's a very conditional life that you are living. Give me good conditions and I'll have an emotional good feeling response. We say, no, you've got to generate the emotional good feeling response and then the conditions will follow it. That's what unconditional love is. That's what deliberate creating is. You got to find some way of offering a vibration that is apart from what you are currently living if you want what you are currently living to shift. Because if you keep observing what you're currently living and you keep offering a vibration about what you are currently living, then that's the momentum you've got going, and that's what law of attraction is going to continue to bring to you. Not in punishment, but in reverence of the vibration that you have established. So if we can convince you that you can establish a different vibration, and if we can convince you that the best chance you have at establishing a vibration is when you first wake up in the morning, and then you sabotage that by saying, no, my vibration when I first wake up is preset. So we say, when did you preset it? The night before, and the night before, and the night before, and the night before, and the night before. Well, at some point, you're going to stop the presetting of that negative emotion. At some point, you're going to stop presetting it.
Which is the acknowledging that I am the one sitting at the driving wheel and I can open my eyes and look forward rather than looking down.
You're in complete control. The question is, are you going to exercise it? Are you going to argue for your limitations, or are you going to argue for your expansion? Are you going to create your own reality, or are you going to complain about the reality you've been creating by default? Yeah.
Time will tell. When I sit in the morning and I have time set aside every morning and I wake up and I sit, it feels like I have like I'm taking about 5 Labrador retrievers out for a walk at the same time.
Well, don't do that anymore.
And I'm being pulled in every direction.
Don't do that anymore, because what you're saying is, I'm getting up, I'm on a disc that I wasn't aware of, and then I'm trying to use the willpower of my mind to focus. And we say, you're fighting a current that's too big to fight.
What it feels like.
Stop fighting that current. Just let it have its way with you. You're falling from an airplane. Just let the natural momentum happen. And then when you go to bed tonight, say, tomorrow's going to be a different day. Maybe I have a chance of getting a different momentum going. We'll see. You said that. We'll just see. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I can get a different momentum going. And when you wake up, reach for the best feeling thought that you can find.
So even something as just sort of simple as that, going on and finding something that just simply makes you laugh.
Because
that will shift your vibration.
It shifts it, but better still, it keeps the momentum of it going. In other words, when you get on that momentum, then other funny things like that will come to your mind. Now, sometimes something else that is funny will come to your mind that then will open a vibration on something that takes you on another disc. But as you reapply your attention, before long, you'll be able to hold the funny. You'll be able to hold the love. You'll be able to maintain. We're not asking you to hold it all the time. We just want it to be the more dominant vibration. Actually, you only have to get it to be 5149 and your life starts shifting in significant ways. You just can't be pessimistic mostly. You got to find a way to be optimistic. And optimistic is an emotion of a higher, less resisted frequency.